welcome to Law Media. I'm Sarah. Here's your host, Sunny. We wanted to come on and talk to you guys about educational pods and how we feel about that. So right now, we're like in month 8 or 7 of the pandemic. Actually, we're in like month 5 of the pandemic. It started in March. Schools basically they let out in March, and they're basically doing remote learning right now. And some people are forming pods. Sunny actually has a master's degree in education, so she is actually going to be doing a pod class. But some people are saying that pods are not fair. How do you feel about that, about pods being like not fair to people that can't afford to join them?
Yeah, well, I think the pod scenario is echoing what's already happening within the classroom and the school system before the pandemic. So of course you have the schools that are in the upper class and upper middle class neighborhoods are always known to be like the better schools, right?
Right.
And then you have the schools that are zoned in the lower income neighborhoods are always the ones that are like lacking in like the essentials. And those are always, people are always complaining, parents are complaining these schools are horrible. So what to do? There's so much inequity in this education system, and now that all the kids are at home, they're running into the same exact problem, only it's just taken on a new form of the pod. So you have some of the parents from a classroom of 30 kids, maybe the more educationally minded or some of the wealthier parents get together, they take 3 or 4 kids out of the class, and then they go and hire a teacher like me, who is a California or whatever state credentialed teacher with maybe a master's degree. I have a master's degree, maybe the teacher has 2 master's degrees. That teacher now can spend all their time and attention on these 4 kids versus one teacher for 30 kids. So those 4 kids with those savvy parents are getting better treatment. So is that fair? Well, since we live in a capitalist society, there are lots of things that aren't fair. I would say it's not fair. However, I think that we can't demonize those parents or those teachers. We just have to let them do what they're going to do because they're really only bettering society and they're bettering the lives of their kids.
Exactly. And as a person, I come from a background where I went to public school and they weren't the best. And so when I came out to California, I noticed, and I definitely got my education in other states, but the general level of education here is greater. What if I came out here and it was people that had even worse education than in Detroit? And you know, like some people need an education. It's a lot of adults that need a lot more education. So what if I came out here and people were like super ignorant and, you know, like go back to where it came from, or, you know, just like crazy. So I'm actually grateful that I am able to interact with a community that has the educational requirements, or not requirements, the educational background. Like I expect certain things, and I am grateful that our communities have them. So I think it would be awful to take education away from some communities. Like luckily, you know, like we're grateful education is big here. But what if somebody like a little kid, even a little boy, he goes to another school and the kids there are dumb, their parents